Good morning again, friends, and welcome back to Sunday School. Last week we learned about a pretty cool lady named Deborah. This week we're going to learn about a man named Gideon. Gideon wasn't rich or important, but God used Gideon in a very important way. Let's read about it and find out.
Our story for this week is called Gideon's Battle. God's people kept disobeying his rules, so God allowed their enemies to take all their food away. Again, the Israelites turned to God for help. Again, God answered their prayers. God chose a man named Gideon to help his people. God sent an angel to Gideon. "You are a mighty warrior," said the angel. "You will save God's people." Gideon said, "But I am from a family that isn't rich or important." Then Gideon prayed to God, "I need a sign from you. I will put wool on the floor. Tomorrow, if the wool is wet and the ground is dry, I will believe you." The next morning, the wool was wet and the ground was dry. But Gideon wanted another sign. He said to God, "Now, if the wool is dry and the ground is wet, I will be sure you have chosen me." The next morning, God made the wool dry and the ground wet. Now Gideon was sure. He said, "God, I will do whatever you say." Over 30,000 men wanted to join Gideon's army. "That is too many," God said. He showed Gideon how to win with only 300 men. The plan sounded strange, but Gideon trusted God. During the night, Gideon and his men surrounded the enemy camp. They blew trumpets and smashed clay jars. They waved burning torches in the air. Their enemies were frightened. This must be a huge army, they thought. So they ran away. God's people won. And that's the end of our story.
In our story today, the Israelites were in trouble. Their enemies took all of their food away. What did God do when they turned to him for help? He answered their prayers. What was the name of the man God called to stand up for the Israelites? Gideon. That's right. Gideon was afraid. He didn't think that he was important enough to lead an army for God. So he asked God to give him a sign. Do you remember what that sign was? Gideon put wool on the ground overnight. He said when morning comes, if the wool is wet and the ground is dry, he will know that God asked him to lead the battle. And God provided that sign. The next day, he asked for another sign. Gideon said that if the wool is dry and the ground is wet, he would be sure that God had chosen him. And God provided the signs again. And Gideon told God that he would do whatever God wanted him to do. Do you remember how many soldiers God gave Gideon to win the battle? 300. That's not very much to win a big battle like that. What did the Israelites do before the battle? They broke bowls and held torches and blew horns and shouted. The Israelites won the battle with God's help. Even though Gideon was afraid, God was with him. Gideon didn't feel like a very important person, but God called him for a special job. Sometimes we might feel like we're too small or we're too young to be used by God, but God is always with us, and he has big plans for our lives. This week, we're going to try something a little different. We're going to play a game. I have my friend Gideon here with us, and he's going to hide, and we're going to try and find him. Are you ready to play the game? All right, let's do it.
Let's play a game. This game is called Where is Gideon Hiding? We're gonna try and see if we can find out where he's hiding. He's underneath one of these 4 pictures. Can you guess which one? Is it under the tree? Let's check. No, not under the tree. How about in the cave? Is he hiding under the cave? Nope, not in a cave. What about these little plants? Do you think he's hiding under the plants? Nope, not under the plants either. How about the cactus? Look, this picture is a little bit different, huh? This picture only has a little bit of green and the rest of them have a lot of green. Do we think he's hiding in the desert? Let's check. There he is! He was hiding into the desert. That was a fun game. Do you guys want to play again? All right, let's play one more time. Ready? All right, here we go. We got 3 more new pictures and our desert again. Do you think he's hiding in the same place where he hid last time? Let's check. Nope, not in the desert. How about in this meadow? Do you think he's in the meadow? Let's check. Nope, not in the meadow. How about in a cave? Do you think he'd be hiding in a cave? Yeah, there he is.
Thanks for playing that game with me, friends. That was so much fun. That's all we have for this week. Let's end in a prayer. Dear God, please help us be brave like Gideon. Thank you for having special plans for our lives. Please help us live out those plans. Amen. Bye, friends. I'll see you next week.